dogs, and it was an amusing sight to see them both trying to sit on the lap of their visitor.
"Get down, you stupid animals!"
Nelly shouted, her raucous laughter filling the room.
"Here, keep an eye on me meat, will you, while I give 'em some biscuits to shut 'em up."
Pausing only to turn the swivel over the fire in the oven range to allow the kettle to heat, Nelly went to a small cupboard and took out some dog biscuits, which she threw onto the frost-tipped grass in the garden.
"That'll keep 'em quiet for a minute. Nice to see you," she said,
puffing as if she had run a fast mile.
"Not the most peaceful of houses to visit, is it?"
She laughed again, her missing teeth creating almost a snarl, which was belied by the twinkling merriment in her dark eyes. Nelly took off her hat and coat, wrapped an apron around her plump middle, and busied herself preparing tea for her visitor. She seemed calm and at ease, but as always with unexpected visits from what she considered authorities, she was half afraid of trouble. She glanced at Mrs. Norwood Bennet Hughes, as the woman preferred to be called, using her husband's Christian name, as well as their hyphenated surnames. She smiled as she caught the woman's eye, before turning back to her large fire-blackened kettle and the brown china teapot which she warmed with the near-boiling water. Mrs. Norwood Bennet Hughes wore her generously cut fur coat and brown leather fur-lined boots. What could be seen of her legs were covered in hand-knitted patterned stockings in brown wool. Her handbag, large and also of good quality leather, was near her feet. Nelly wondered curiously what she could find to fill it. She managed with just her pockets most of the time, and why would she want to carry such a heavy thing? Not for the first time, Nelly decided that the richer you were, the more problems you made for yourself. Like her own daughter, Evie. There was a one for making work for herself. So vain, she was afraid to go out without adding to her makeup, polishing her shoes, brushing her coat in case a particle of dust had the audacity to land on her shoulders, and conducting long searches in the mirror for signs of imperfections. The saddest thing, in Nelly's opinion, was that she treated her son Oliver in the same way. A 10-year-old boy wasn't meant to be neat and clean all the time, and Evie's home was bereft of anything that wasn't absolutely necessary. Evie carried a big handbag too. Not as big as Mrs. Norwood Bennet Hughes's, though. Perhaps to Evie's constant regret, she wasn't as important. "Why I have called," her visitor said when they were both seated comfortably with cups of tea beside them, "is to ask for your advice."
"Me? Blimey, you must be hard up."
Nelly laughed. "It's about money for the community hall."
"You come to the wrong house. I ain't got none of that."
Mrs. Norwood Bennet Hughes smiled and waited.
"Yes, I know we needs more money to finish the building," Nelly went on. "Want a donation, do you?"
"I want your opinion on something we haven't tried before. Do you think the villagers would be willing to enter the best-kept village competition next year?"
"Can I see to my Georgie's dinner while we talk?"
Nelly stood up and began chopping meat and vegetables, which she placed in a casserole and put in the oven at the side of the now roaring fire. She frowned as she thought before replying to the question, chewing on a carrot which she had absent-mindedly popped into her mouth.
"Seems to me that you'll have to talk to them on the main road. It's only for the likes of them, especially them with plenty of money to spare for flowers, to decide yes or no. For myself, yes, I'd love to see the place all colourful and looking good. Mind you, you can't ignore half the population. You'll have to have another bring and buy sale, especially now Prue Bainham's back to bully them into working. All them knitters and sewers would hate to be left out, but to fill the gardens and windowsills with flowers—"
She sighed, imagining the spectacle.
"Lovely that would be." "Yes, I bet there'll be plenty willing to help with that."
"We've just had a bring and buy, but I'm sure you're right, and the ladies of the sewing bee will soon have enough work finished to arrange another one." She took out her notebook and made a few entries, while Nelly stirred the fire to encourage the heat to increase and start the casserole cooking.
"I'm a bit out of the way up here," Nelly went on, "but I'll do something."